but it, it was kind of a great unknown when we started, and like it kind of felt like the way I imagined it, at least in the edit. So.
We've arrived at the final part of this 6-part series, the edit. Now that we have everything filmed, the final leg of this journey is to get all that footage edited down into a nice, crisp, 60-second spot for our client. As we mentioned in episode 2, for our budget, and because of the current pandemic, we were working with a really small team for this project, with Aaron Peterson in charge of both the filming and editing of the spot.
Because I filmed and edited it, it wasn't just like shots to be like, well, I hope this works together in post for some sucker. You know, like it's like, I know I'm gonna need this shot to lead into this shot. And I know I'm gonna need a little bit of like padding on this to get this, you know? So like if I screwed up in the filming, I only had myself to blame in the edit. If you know what somebody else does, that only makes you better to work with because you can get it. It's almost like an empathy for what they do. So it's like, I know they're gonna need this. So the most I know about it is only gonna help both of us, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna be a better person for knowing what that is on the other end, you know?
I asked Aaron what the hardest part of editing this project was.
Just the hard part was we just had so much, and then so cutting it down to a minute, which like actually from the start when I thought it would only be 30 seconds, and I was fighting against the fact that it was even gonna be a minute. But then when the skeleton comes out to be like 1:45, then it gets a little tricky that way. So it's like starting to cut down some of the key pieces, or what you thought was a key piece when you're filming it, and then it turns out just to be an added thing in post. Normally anybody in the editing suite gets like a little possessive over it, and so when you first get like your first feedback, you kind of like, you know, it's just your instinct to like fight it, but all the notes were really good and they make sense. So it wasn't too bad. Like luckily, like I said, we had a good team, so it's like I could trust the notes I was getting back on it.
As Aaron talked about in the filming episode, this spot consisted of a bunch of edited together close-ups. This helped us focus the attention and story on the specific action that was happening in each moment, as opposed to overwhelming the viewer with the whole machine at once.
It's a good visual thing to have cuts the way we edited it. It's more compelling. It shows what's happening up close.
The other piece of the editing process is the script and voiceover. When you only have 60 seconds to communicate a story, each word matters and needs to be paced and vocalized with intention. The music, combined with the voice talent of Julian Fade, really brought the drama and story of this spot together. The final step of this video was back over to me for the design and type. Specifically, the design of the opening sequence, which I designed a little typographic animation for, and Canopy's call to action at the end. So there you have it, all the steps to how we designed and built our Rube Goldberg machine. Our strategic goals, how we built a great team, our ideation and design, the physical build, the filming, and the editing. You should definitely head over to my website, theofficeofsarah.com, to check out the final edited 60-second spot we made for Canopy. And we'd love if you gave it a little thumbs up on YouTube. But first, before you leave, I promised you something last episode. Because the final spot was planned as a series of close-ups, we didn't technically need the full run, but for Adrian and I, it was a matter of pride.
So the fact that we made one that actually worked and that we filmed it and we have that video just for ourselves, I'm proud of. I'm glad that we were able to do that.
So here's the almost seamless, full, unedited run, 40 seconds long in all its glory. And in case that all moved a bit too fast for you, here's a closer look at the paper side of our machine. And of course, a recording of our plastic side on a run that almost didn't happen in 2 spots, as you'll see, but the machine pulled through. The big question I had for my team after this project was, would you do it again?
And would you do it again?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, why not? I say that because I didn't actually build it.
I would definitely do another Rube Goldberg project. This was such a delight. If you have a collaboration in mind, hit me up. Before you forget, definitely head over to the Office of Sarah to check out that final spot. That's officeofsarah.com. Thanks for joining me on this 6-part tour of our Rube Goldberg project. See you soon.
This is so dumb. I think the dream Rube Goldberg machine would be something so colossal in scale, like something, falling off a building just to make me a cup of coffee. Something that starts so grandiose and so large to do the most mundane daily chore, I think would be hilarious.